Welcome to another episode of Undercard Heroes. My name is Francisco.
And I'm Heather.
And, we've got an interesting fight card here. I know surface level, it doesn't look that interesting. UFC 318, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. This is Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. And if you look at this card, it doesn't seem like it's that interesting. Maybe a glorified fight night, if you will. But we're going to talk about some of the fights on this card that I think are going to be worth watching.
Let's get into it. So what's the first fight you want to talk about?
First fight I want to talk about is Ateba Gautier versus Robert Valentin. This fight, I'm really excited about it. I think that Ateba Gautier is looking fantastic. I think he's going to be a real problem here in the middleweight division, and I think he easily gets a win over Robert Valentin.
So this guy sounds pretty special. What's so special about him?
Ateba Gautier is being called the middleweight Francis Ngannou. Now, there are some similarities between them. One, they're both from Cameroon. Ateba Gautier is on a 6-fight KO winning streak, and this guy is massive. I mean, he is built very similar to Francis Ngannou, but in the middleweight division. In my opinion, he's a much better striker than Francis Ngannou. So picture Francis Ngannou's power, but a little bit more technical on the feet. I mean, all of his KOs, majority of them, have come from his punching combinations followed by a flying knee. So it's the knee that actually knocks people down, and then he follows it up with some really vicious ground and pound.
Dang. So do you think he's going to extend his streak to 7 KOs?
Oh, for sure. I think that I feel bad for Robert Valentin. I think that they're serving him up to Ateba Gautier to be knocked out. He's on a 2-fight losing streak here in the UFC. Those are the only 2 fights he's had in the UFC. One of them was a KO loss to Loader, and I don't see this going any other way. In fact, I can see Ateba Gautier getting a first-round knockout here.
Wow, well, that'll be really fun to watch. What's the next fight you want to talk about?
Next fight I want to talk about is Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. This is going to be a fantastic bantamweight fight. These two guys are absolute killers here in the bantamweight division, fantastic prospects, and, on paper, 2 very similar fighters. Ultimately, I'm going to give the win to Vinicius Oliveira. But this is going to be a fantastic fight, absolute must-watch fight on this card.
So it sounds like this is pretty evenly matched, which is exciting. What are some of your predictions?
This is extremely evenly matched on paper. Vinicius Oliveira, about 5 significant strikes per minute. Same thing for Kyler Phillips. Oliveira takes a little over 2 significant strikes per minute, so 2.7 he absorbs, while Kyler Phillips absorbs 3.5, close to. So a little difference there in the striking differential, with Kyler Phillips taking a few more hits. But beyond that, everything very similar. Striking accuracy, defense, takedown defense. Where I give Vinicius Oliveira the edge here is his finishing rate. He's got 22 career wins in MMA. Only 4 of them have gone to the judges. Kyler Phillips, on the other hand, 12 wins, 5 of them went to judges. So Oliveira is just fantastic finisher. I think that this is going to be a really good striking match. Neither one of them has great wrestling skills. Kyler Phillips may try to take this one to the ground, implement some kind of ground game, and ultimately try and grind out a decision win here. But if it stays standing, I'm looking for Oliveira to add to his finish rate to get another KO win here. But, like I said, I could see Kyler edging out some kind of decision. But ultimately, I'm going to give it to Vinicius Oliveira.
I mean, it definitely sounds like it's going to be a really exciting fight.
This one's going to be great. I can't wait for this one. Real quick, if you're looking for a great value bet for UFC 318, go for Pitbull over Ige. Patricio Pitbull to get the finish in that fight. If the only Patricio Pitbull fight you saw was him fight Yair Rodriguez, you have not seen Patricio Pitbull fight. He was, very slow in that fight. Historically, fighters haven't done well in their first fight in the UFC. So look for Patricio Pitbull to finish Dan Ige. If not, this is going to be a huge decline for him. He's going to be out of the UFC. So I think he's really going to come out strong. I think he's going to try and get the finish over Dan Ige. Ige hasn't looked great when he steps up against tougher competition. So I'm going to bet Patricio Pitbull to get the finish, either KO or submission over Dan Ige.
Now, for the main event, I know Max Holloway is one of your absolute favorite fighters. What do you think is going to happen here?
Yes, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier for the BMF belt. And you're right, Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira, my two absolute ride or die favorite fighters in the UFC. I absolutely want them to win, always. So obviously I'm going Max Holloway to win this one. This is the third time that he's fought Dustin Poirier. He's 0 for 2 against Dustin Poirier. Max Holloway's very first fight in the UFC was against Dustin Poirier, and he lost that fight. Then they fought again for the interim featherweight title. He lost that fight too, but I'm going to say Max Holloway wins this fight over Dustin Poirier.
What makes this third time different? Just the third time's a charm?
Third time's a charm. That's what I'm saying for this one. But he is a completely different 155-pounder than he was before, and a very different fighter than his very first UFC fight. This Max Holloway is, way bigger than he was when he fought Dustin Poirier at 155. He's made the permanent move to 155. He's not going back to 145. And he is determined to win this fight. I mean, he's going to stay in the UFC after this, and he's going to try and challenge Ilia Topuria for that featherweight belt. Whereas Dustin Poirier, this is his last fight in the UFC, and he's going through, I think, all the emotions of this being his last fight in the UFC. You saw him get a little sentimental at the weigh-ins, just kind of realizing this is the last time he's going to be doing this. And it's also, in New Orleans, it's in his hometown, so I think that, he's going through a lot right now, and I think that he's just not gonna. I mean, he's gonna really give it to Max Holloway. He's not gonna go in there and lay down. I think he's really gonna try and either knock out Max Holloway or get the guillotine submission on Max Holloway. But ultimately, I think that Max is gonna win this fight.
Well, that'll be great to watch. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic fight. Like I said, Dustin Poirier, he said he's looking for that guillotine submission. He's been looking for it all through his career. And so I do not doubt for 1 second that he's going to jump the gilly on Max at least once or a couple times in this fight. I don't think he gets it, but I think that he will have some great moments in this fight. It's going to be really good. I'm excited to see it. Thanks again for watching another episode of Undercard Heroes.
So what do you think about Francisco's picks? Did he miss anything? Is there anything you disagree with? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks, everyone.